I posted this reel on Instagram and received some questions about TouchDesigner and Blender connection, so this is a tutorial for a slightly quicker version. To achieve this effect, all you need is MediaPipe for TouchDesigner and Blender Kit if you wish to have a similar scene. All of the softwares and plugins are completely free. I wanted to make this tutorial for everyone, so if you're new to Blender or TouchDesigner, you can follow along. But if you're a more advanced Blender user, I encourage you to experiment and do your own scene. So let me show you how I did it. Let's start with Blender. Hit A to select everything and delete. Import a nice traffic light model and scale it down a little. Now you can bring a camera and add a walk navigation to your quick favorites to adjust the camera view. Place a camera to your liking, but make sure to leave a space for the car animation in the background. Now for the background, Shift A to add a plane. Move it on the Y-axis and scale it up to create a road. Press 7 for the top view, Shift D to duplicate the plane, S to scale it down, G-Y to move it to the side, and press E to extrude. Now we have a sidewalk border, we can move it to the beginning of the road. Another good quick favorite to add is apply all transforms. Command B to bevel all the edges and make it a bit smoother. Go to top view and make another duplicate of the plane. Scale it down and move it closer to our camera view. Move it up so the smaller plane sits right on top of the bigger one. Add the array modifier and offset on the Y-axis. Make the count bigger so it reaches the other side of the road. Go to the render settings and make these changes to make it look nicer. On the Blender Kit website, choose any night HD array that you like. Copy this asphalt road material and drag it to your plane. Click on the border and apply the same material. To fix the texture, go to the Edit mode, press U and select Smart UV Project. Duplicate the border for other side of the road. Add an array modifier and move it on the X-axis by -1.01. Duplicate the modified border and move it to the other side. Increase the count so it reaches the end of the frame. Grab a white road lane material from Blender Kit and drop it to your pedestrian crossing. Go to UV editing window and adjust the UV to fit the line. Take a broken road scan and add it to your project. Move it closer and duplicate. Duplicate it again for the other side of the road. Add an array modifier and offset on the X-axis by -1. Let's change the focal length of the camera to 60 mm. Increase the count on the array modifier and move the sidewalk slightly. Take any street wall scan, add it to a project and apply an array modifier. Make sure to close all the gaps with the wall. Now you can add any additional elements to your project. I'm using this box model to cover a small gap between wall meshes. And I'd like to place this trash bin closer to my crossing. We need more light in our scene, so let's add the circle. Press F to fill and use scale and extrude to make a rough model of a street lamp. Create a new material and make it metallic. Now we can add a spotlight to our background. Switch to the render mode, check the temperature and increase the power of the light to 100. Play with temperature, radius, angle and blend to make a nice street light. Shift select the mesh and the spotlight. Option D to duplicate it to the other side. In the world settings, make the background brighter. Shift A to add a point light and move it right in front of the glass part of the traffic light. Duplicate your point light 2 times and move it on the Z-axis. Go to the light settings of each point and set the color. Add depth of field to the camera and tweak the focus distance. Make the background lighter with additional light sources. Choose a car model that you like and add it to your project. Duplicate the pedestrian crossing, adjust scale, location and array modifier to create the white markings on the road. Inside the TouchDesigner, close the palette, Shift A to select everything and delete. Drag and drop your MediaPipe hand track and talks. Connect them here. The first thing I like to do is go to MediaPipe to the command and enable external talk so our file doesn't take forever to save. Now we can switch off everything but the tag hands. And I like to switch show overlay too. To remove this X right here, we need to press to this small X 2 times. Now we can add an overtop. Connect them together, right click, view. Now we have all our joints as a point, but we need only these 4. To do that, select hand tracking, press I to go inside. Select this to and move it to the side. Right click, insert trim chop. Put it to absolute, copy and paste. On the first one the start value is 8, on the second one the start value is 4. Now we can merge them together. So merge chop, connect. After that insert shuffle chop and put the method to sequence channels by names. Now we have these 2 fingers, but we need the other hand too. To do that, copy and paste trim 2 times. Here the start value is 25 and here the start value is 29. And now we have both of our hands. Press U to go outside and from helpers add a hole chop. Connect it here too and sample while on. Add the select top. And we need H1 pinch midpoint distance. Add a math chop after select, a limit chop, and a null. Click on math chop, go to range. So the from range is usually from 0.05 to 0.5 and 2 ranges from 0 to 1. Now we can click here, go to the limit, set type to clamp, select this one, drag and reference here. To range to select to drag and reference it to maximum. This is gonna be our light switch. Let's copy and paste. Inside the limit we can change from math 1 to math 2. Here too, and now it's connected here. Inside this select, change H1 to H2, and now we have our first hand and our second hand. Before this null, let's add the count. Set the limit to clamp min loop max. Limit minimum is 1, limit maximum is 3. And now it goes from 1 to 3. Now add a constant. Change the name to car. Add null and the dot execute. And let's add it here too. This is how our TouchDesigner can communicate with Blender. So inside the constant, click on name. Let's make the null active and reference the chop here. Now we can make our dots active, select everything and delete. I'm gonna leave this code in the comments. Let's copy the TD lights and add it to the first dot. Copy the TD card code and paste it to the second one. Inside Blender, go to the scripting window, add the new script, copy and paste the code. Add the second text for car animation. Find an empty connected to your car and copy it location to location A inside your script. Move the empty down on the road and paste it location to car B location. Rename the empty to TD_car and all the traffic lights as TL_red, TL_green and TL_yellow. If you want to change the speed of the car, you can find move duration inside of your script and decrease the value. To change the intensity of the light, go to the first chop execute and change the max intensity value. Now we can run both scripts and check with TouchDesigner. And that's it. I hope you learned something new. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Thank you and see you soon.